Okay, welcome to Shooting the Wheeze, the show where we sit down and shoot the shit on what's going on in my life, the world of professional wrestling, and really whatever we want to. And today I brought on a guest because he basically offered himself up. And honestly, that works in my favor because I'm really bad about keeping in contact with people and reaching out. So thank you so much, Tyler. Welcome, Tyler. How are we doing today?
I am doing awesome. How are you doing today, Wheezy?
I'm doing actually pretty good. Had a very easy day. I had a very simple day. I got my nails did, just got to hang out, get some things together. I
Nice.
just finished getting my tax expenses together. You had actually
Yeah,
commented on
yeah,
my TikTok about that.
yeah. That's always fun. I have my tax appointment on Monday, and pretty much everything's organized like it said. My accountant kind of corrected me as far as do your stuff every month, or it's going to be a bear at the end of the year.
Well,
And yeah,
I'm learning that
you know,
right now. I'm learning that right now because everything got so crazy. I was actually amazed reading some of the comments of people that were saying, wait, you have to pay taxes on like the things that you make from your content? Like, bro, yeah, you got to pay taxes on everything. Of course you do. I mean, you
yeah,
could not, but then you're going to get in trouble. But I didn't
mhm,
expect last year to kind of escalate as quickly as it did. So we got to the end of the year and I was like, "Oh, I'll keep up with it. I'll keep up with it." And I did not. And now I'm having to find
mhm,
receipts for stuff that's on my credit card statement that I have no idea where it's at. So I
yeah,
I at least have it enough now that I can send it to my accountant, and if there's something
sure,
missing or something he needs, he can reach out to me and figure that out. So, I'm feeling much, much, much better. But you
yeah.
are I was gonna say you're a content girly too. You're not a content girly. You're a content creator as well. You also well, you've started in multiple places, not just TikTok. You were actually kind of doing content before then. What has been your experience like watching the internet kind of escalate and elevate and do all kinds of different things as it changes?
It's definitely been interesting because, well, I guess one thing I didn't tell you about is before I used to do reselling content on Instagram mainly, but before that, I used to run a Twitter account that had 167,000 followers, about 2010, 2013 in that
Come
range.
again? You left that
When
part out.
Well, yeah, it wasn't mine, but I managed it for somebody, and I can't tell you who because I did have to sign an
Oh, man.
NDA, but it was a woman, and just let me say, I know exactly the crazy messages you ladies get, so I get you. It's creepy. It's
It's a
creepy.
wild
Dudes are
world.
creepy.
It's a
Yes.
wild world. My poor agent, if I get an email, it gets sent to his as well, and there's been a few where I have like, "Sorry, Nick. I'm sorry, Nick.
Yeah.
Please ignore it," and he'll, like, email them back and, like, defend my honor. I'm like, please don't
Yeah.
engage with the crazy. Don't do that at all." What kinda stuff would you resell? What kinda resale stuff did you do?
Actually, I did a lot of clothing. I did a lot of women's clothing, men's clothing. I mean,
Okay.
I probably know more about women's clothing than any guy should know.
Hey, that's good
Uh
knowledge to have, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and it was always funny 'cause I really learned a lot, I enjoyed a lot about learning about it, and then it was always fun when I was in, like, looking for things, like, I'd go to sometimes, like, garage sales or thrift stores, and it'd be old ladies giving me dirty looks like, "Why are you in here?
What are you doing
What are you doing
here?
here?" Yeah, but no, that was the main stuff, and then, I mean, sports cards, pretty much anything and everything, honestly, for a while there, I was doing it all, so but definitely clothing was a focus.
So now we're in 2025. You
Yeah,
are in the wrestling content world as well. When
yep.
did you get your start with that? When did you start doing it? Why did you start doing it? Were you watching wrestling at the time? Were you not? Give me your wrestling lowdown. Give me your origin story.
So, origin story, if you wanna go to the beginning, we'll do that
Yes.
quick. I always loved wrestling. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and we had, like, 3 channels over broadcast, and we couldn't get cable in the country. So, my grandma lived in town, and my grandma worked at a appliance/video rental/whatever store. You could rent Nintendo, Super Nintendos, VCRs, camcorders, back in the day before this was a big thing. I mean, that was the thing. Well, anyways, my grandma had cable. I used to go in and watch Raw, or, like, Sunday mornings, we'd go to her house for, like, lunch, and there'd be the WWE program would be on. I can't remember what it was called. And then for a long time, she was taping me Nitro,
Oh,
and I would
oh,
watch the
grandma.
tapes. And then for a while there, then after once I got my car and I could drive, I would go to her house on Monday nights and watch it because I couldn't go all my friends lived in another town that was only 10 miles away, but my parents would only let me go there. So
Did
I
grandma
would go
watch
to my
with you?
grandma. No, my grandma would not,
Darn.
but she was all about it. She'd watch it in her TV room, and I'd go sit actually in her bedroom on her old computer while I'd play, like, computer games while I watched the show, and then go back and forth between Raw and Nitro. But my grandma, yeah, basically is the reason I really got into wrestling because she allowed me to come in and watch wrestling all the time. Um, and then eventually I don't know, I ended up buying a dish and basically telling my parents, "I'm gonna put it on your house," and me and my buddy from high school put, DirecTV, satellite on the side of my parents' house one night, and
Oh my god.
since then we watched all the pay-per-views and everything for quite a while. And I did take a little wrestling break, probably like '05 to like 10. I was watching it, but I was more casual.
That's I
I
think a
wasn't
lot of
watching.
people around that time because I was basically the same way. I stayed away a little bit longer, but that's kind of a dead
Actually,
air for a lot of people.
it was probably 15 when I came back, really, because I mean that was about the time the Shield came around, and
Yeah.
actually right when Seth turned is kind of when I came back, and basically since
Same.
then I've been watching everything. I mean, I've been watching Raw, SmackDown, and as many. I mean, all the pay-per-views now, but every show. I mean, so yeah, and that's really what it evolved into. As far as watching wrestling. Um, as far as the content creation side, I could have never imagined doing the content creation thing until, like I told you, I remember I have another TikTok. It's up my personal TikTok. It's got like 27,000 followers, and just doing goofing stuff on there, lip syncs, just having fun, having a good time. And then one
The
day I
good
came
old
across you.
days.
Yeah, I came across you. I think you had 125 followers or something like that. And I'm like, oh, she's talking about wrestling. That's cool. And then I saw someone else talking about wrestling and another person because eventually the algorithm picked it up. And I'm like, maybe I'll give this a try. So then I just started talking about wrestling, and I don't know, here we are. I mean, I don't have near the following you do, but I know you've been busting your butt. You bust your butt more than I do.
It's
But no,
hard.
I'm pretty happy. I got almost 90,000 followers on my main page and my main TikTok, and then I'm around 10K on IG. And I mean, for as little effort as I put into my IG, I'm pretty happy where it's going. So everything's growing, growing, growing. That's the key,
And that's the
and I'm
thing, like,
having fun
it's
doing it.
exactly, those are the most important things, like, if you want it to keep growing, cool, if you're having fun doing it, that's the entire point, that's literally, the whole
Yeah.
point, and as far as where anyone lands with their goals with it, it is just kind of a, "Eh, try this out, see if it works, try this out, see if it works." I would have never imagined that I'd be doing anything that I'm doing or anything that I'm planning to do or in the talks of doing. I just was a girl with a camera. And that's the cool thing
Hmm.
about, what it is that we do because it is accessible to really anybody if you want to
Yeah.
give it a shot. I will say the conversations I've had lately, it is getting harder and harder and harder. It's a little harder now. There's more hoops that you have to jump through. When we first started out, at least what got us our biggest breaks were the reaction content. So we would record and do that every week and post it. And at that time on TikTok, especially, the copyright wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Now, copyright is an issue. So you can't post on TikTok where the algorithm really is the best. Getting exposure
Mhm.
on Instagram was honestly a lucky. It was just lucky. And now it is a lot harder to get the exposure because the reaction content just hits. It just hits and it
Mhm.
hits consistently every time. And now that there's more of it, it's not doing that quite as
There's
much.
a lot of it now.
There is. I mean,
Yeah.
my messages are mainly at this point people asking that want to know how to do it and want to know how to do this. And
All the time.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I can only give away so many things. I can only give away so
Yeah.
use a little Google search, figure some stuff
Yeah.
out, try some things out, like most of us did, like most
That's
of
that's
us
how I
did.
did it. I didn't even ask anybody how to do it. I just Googled how to do the watching 2 screens. I want the capture card stuff, all that stuff, and just being able to do it all, and I just did it
It's valuable.
because
Those are things you need to know in order to do other stuff.
I kind of felt like if I bugged you guys, the people that have been doing it for a while, you're not gonna tell me everything 'cause you gotta kinda keep it guarded a little bit.
The
And
way the way I had to swallow my pride to ask, like, a particular person in the space, and I tried every single avenue that I could before I asked this person, and then when I asked, they told me something I already knew, and I was like, "That wasn't the specific thing I was asking," and then I went and
yeah,
found it out myself
yeah,
and
exactly.
so
Oh.
when did you start doing reaction content?
Hmm, let's see, it must have been I didn't do it I started towards the end of my first year. So, I've been doing what, 3 years? Did we I think we were thinking. So, yeah, it was about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago.
Okay.
I kinda jumped in. I know you were doing it before me, but it wasn't I don't think it was too horribly long after you started doing it that I did,
I don't think so
but
either, because there were a few other I mean, when WWE started taking notice of, more people that were doing it, I kinda got introduced to a completely different side of the internet and, like, the wrestling community that I didn't really know existed, like, a lot of the guys that were just on YouTube or that made
yeah,
YouTube videos, I really knew nothing about them because I was pretty much loyal to TikTok, and when it looked like TikTok was going away, I'm like, "Ooh, okay, we really
yeah, I
need to
was
get a
looking.
yeah, pick up and do things different places. So that was, I was like, "Whoa, there are more people that do this. There are people that have been doing this for a long time."
Yeah,
Conman, for example,
yeah,
since 2014 has been doing
it's
it.
crazy, it's
Girl, I had
crazy.
no idea. I had no idea. So the fact that it existed and now just the content in general just keeps growing and more people want to become a part of it and want to become a part of it. And it's overwhelming sometimes. It's overwhelming because
It's
people
very
really want they want to be like, "How did you do this?" I'm like,
yeah,
"I don't know." I don't know.
it's it's hard work. That's the biggest thing I tell people. He said, "You can't just phone it in," and, I mean, you gotta really dedicate yourself to doing it, and you gotta enjoy it for one. Because some people I feel like are kinda just like they're trying to do it just so they can get a break and become big, and I'm like, but you can tell that they're not genuine or I mean, that's the big thing. Be you. Be you, have fun, and just work your butt off.
Well,
And
it's
you'll
hard for
grow.
some people to be them. It's hard for some people to
And
just be
there's
themselves.
some luck involved too. I won't agree. I mean, there's
Mhm.
luck involved too. You get the right person, you meet the make the right connections, you make the right people see it, you're gonna blow up. It's just how it works. That's the social media aspect of it.
It is. It really is. I think anyone that has been in the position, would agree with that because sometimes it's like, "Oh, what the hell? How the" it showed it to this and sometimes it's just it showing it to a particular person or a particular group of people that gets you seen by somebody else, and then next thing you know,
Mhm.
here you are. On top
Yeah.
of speaking of, like, it being hard work, being normal people, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions too is that I still work my job. I don't necessarily want to, but I still work my shoot job 11 hours a couple days a week. Before that, I was doing 4 to 5, and then I cut down and was, like, betting on myself that maybe I could do more, and you also work as well. So most of us that are sitting
Yeah.
behind these screens are also working jobs in order to support, the passion as well.
Mm.
You've been
Yeah.
working this whole time? Like, how is it balancing with that? When do
Yeah.
you find time?
Whenever I can.
Okay, that's a good I
I
mean, yeah.
I literally, like, if I currently run basically 2 auto parts stores, they're an hour apart. So, a lot
Mhm.
of days I'm in one or the other, or sometimes I go half and half, it just depends. But if it's slow or something, maybe I'll write a YouTube script, or
Yeah.
I'll try to write down ideas for videos, or like, on my lunch breaks, I record videos sometimes, or whenever I can, and when I get home, it's like I do the watch alongs and stuff, and then after that, I normally work till midnight, 1 o'clock, which is bad because I know you don't sleep a lot, uh,
Would
or haven't
sleep.
been. Yeah, and I mean, I have to get up at 4 in the morning if I go to the one store, so I maybe sleep a couple hours a night sometimes, but I've been working on trying to get better at that because I realize if I don't, I'm gonna get sick and
Oh,
it
bro,
ain't
it's
gonna
gonna
then
F you up, yeah.
nothing's gonna get done, so I try to maximize my time the best I can and try to bank as much stuff. Like on a weekend, like if I have nothing going on and I'm in the right headspace, like a Sunday afternoon or something, if nothing's going on or something, I'll do a bunch of videos and I'll bank a bunch of stuff so I can crank it out there during the week, so I don't have to bust my butt so much during the week. So
That's what I'm working on trying to do right now. It's just like
it's hard though.
the never ending like catch up of just all the other
Well,
stuff you have to do too.
that's it. And then I just feel like there's lots of days like I'm super motivated. I'm gonna knock out 4 or 5 videos, and I get one done, maybe two, and I'm like, what did I do today? I
Yeah,
was gonna do this, and I did this, and like, how did this get sidetracked? And like, it's a struggle. It's a struggle,
it is.
but
But you just
you
do it
know it.
anyway and you just ignore it and
Yeah.
you know, we're here. We figure it out.
Yep.
Persevere under hard conditions. Are you
You
still
got it.
in the Midwest? Are you still in Iowa?
Yeah, I'm in Iowa.
You're in
Yeah,
Iowa? Okay.
I basically live if you take Des Moines and you take Minneapolis, I'm pretty much in the middle, about 40 miles from the Minnesota border and an hour to the west. So
Okay.
I'm in the middle of nowhere, basically. We're supposed to get a foot of snow here tomorrow and 60-mile-an-hour wind, so that'll be fun. I might be home.
Wait, really? Is that coming my way? No.
You might be a little it might go north of you. I think it might slide north of you
You're gonna
because I
make
think
me look at the
it looks like
temperatures.
Wisconsin's supposed to really get hit, and then it's supposed
Oh,
to
good.
slide up into northern Lake Michigan and up that way, so
Well,
Superior.
not good for Wisconsin, but it's
Yeah.
literally like 66 degrees, 68
It
degrees
it
here
was
right now.
it was 74 here today, and it's gonna be 32 tomorrow.
I hate this
I
time of
remember
year.
one day a couple years ago, it was 92 degrees, and by the next morning, it was, I think, 5, and we had blizzard.
Whoa, that's a
Yeah.
whiplash.
Iowa's crazy. Iowa weather is crazy.
The only thing I'll say, Indiana can be too, but mainly because of where I'm located, because I'm right south of Lake Michigan. So,
Yeah.
in the right conditions with lake effect snow, it can be beautiful the next day and warm or the day before. And then the wind blows and it gets cold and we get three
Oh,
feet of
yeah.
snow. So, it's just
Yeah.
really, really up and down. I just hate this time of year because it's March, like you're ready for spring, but realistically, you could still have snow all the way through April. We've had snow
Oh,
at the
yeah.
beginning of May before.
Yeah,
So,
we've have too. Yeah, I got a few family members that kinda live over in that area and, like, Valpo, and then there's, like, this tiny town, like, La Crosse, which is south of Valpo and stuff that live up there, so I kinda
okay.
know the northern Indiana area.
There's a lot of nothing. I mean, you say you're in the middle of nowhere. That's Iowa, but there's not a whole lot here. There's not a
No,
whole lot
no,
here.
no, where you're at, no, definitely. I get you.
Okay. I if people watch me, they know that I don't even know how it happened when I got into cards. I've never been into cards. Literally ever. I don't remember a time where I ever cared or had any, to be honest with you. And I went to Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, and they handed out these Royal Rumble packs if you scanned a
Mhm.
QR code at the entrance. So I got one and I opened them, and it was a lot of fun. And then next thing I knew, the 2025 cards were coming out, and so I don't know a damn thing, but I bought 2 boxes. I bought a box from last year, and then the internet has slowly been trying to teach me about
Mhm.
them and things, and all I have is wrestling cards minus like 20 Lions cards that I took out of my boyfriend. Hello? I've literally been married for 7 years. What the hell am I doing? He has a box of cards that are like in our basement that his mom kept up in the attic, and we went and got it
Oh,
and tried to sift through it, and it was a lot. So I just took all the Lions cards and a Dennis Rodman card, and I have
nice,
those. And everything
nice.
else is wrestling. So you have chimed in on a few of my posts where I'm asking these questions. You're like giving little
Yes.
tidbits of information. What does your current collection look like? Are you really a collector, or at this point do you really look to like get them out and sell them? What is your lore with cards here?
I had a decent collection, and then I was moving a lot, so I ended up selling 90% of it.
Oh,
I kept a
really?
few things, but now I'm trying to get back into the collection side of it, but I do my thing is this, I sell a lot of them unless it's something specific, and then the big thing is I know a lot of people do this, I'll sell some of my top end stuff to get even a better card and
Oh,
just kinda keep upgrading. because then you get something that's really, I mean, rare or valuable, and then it's so the value of cards in general are crazy sometimes. Wrestling cards in general, um, this Topps Chrome set has been probably one of the craziest and most sought after sets that wrestling has ever seen. But like, especially if you get into other sports, well, like I don't know, Caitlin Clark, just
Of course.
because she's
Yeah, no.
Indiana Iowa connection. Here we go.
Yeah. For the
Um,
fever. I can't even get a hat right now. Everything's sold out.
yeah,
But
yeah, I know it's crazy. Um, they have like some of her cards are like $6,000, $10,000, like for it's just a card. Uh, Back when the pandemic was hitting and basketball was ridiculously hot, they had some rookies back then, like Luka Doncic. I don't know if you know your NBA very well.
not well, but I
Um,
know that one.
Luka and then Zion Williamson was the hot rookie back then. They were
Oh
selling their
yeah.
like 50, 60,000 dollars for their rookie cards for not they're not their base card, but like their autograph, like refractors, which are the shinier ones with all the weird stuff, um, and different inserts and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy the value, how cards have really escalated in value. And there was a big period back like in the 80s and 90s where they made so many of them. So a lot of those cards aren't worth a lot unless there's something rare. But now everybody's chasing things, and there's different inserts and different parallels, and I know we kind of got into that in one of your chats a little bit, but
Because
um,
it blows my mind because there's just so much. Like I don't
mhm.
understand how you know the value of something, or even is there an entire list somewhere of all the cards that you could possibly get?
If you go to, well, for one, the Topps Chrome, the Topps website, if you go to the Topps Chrome 2025 site, has a checklist of everything there is.
Oh,
Otherwise, Beckett's always a good one. There's Cardboard Connection. They kind of list everything, and some of them will even show you examples of what all the cards look like. Um, the thing is, this is where it gets tricky, which this is why you need those lists. Like those small boxes you had, which actually here I got one here. These are blaster boxes.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
this is the one I know you've opened these, and
I've
then
had
they
two of
have
those.
a lot of times these are in retail stores. These are
Yeah.
the big things like at Target, Walmart. They're cheaper, but you can still hit some stuff. In fact, I hit an Obafemi rookie card, or autograph rookie, our card in it. It
Boba.
was a redemption though, which I don't know if you've learned about redemptions yet.
No. What is that?
So you get a card that looks like this with a bunch of writing on it,
Okay.
and basically you go to the website, Topps website. There's a scratch off code on the back.
Uh-huh.
You send it in, and then they will, once Oba signs it, because more than likely Oba didn't get it signed before the product launched, so he'll sign it, and then you
Oh.
get it in the mail. Which the one box I bought a hobby box where you're guaranteed two autos in, and one of mine was a redemption of our great new guy who just dumped us, John Cena. I did that on my birthday before Elimination Chamber
Oh,
when
so
you were doing your watch.
he still has to send that still has to get
Yeah,
sent to you.
yeah. So I'm curious what he's gonna, if he's gonna actually just sign John Cena, or if he's gonna sign something else on it. So, and it's limited to 50. There's only 50 of that card. So it's a serial numbered card out of 50. So I'm excited,
I feel
but
like he'll just put John Cena. I feel like
yeah,
he won't be a Kevin Owens and write something about someone else or
I really
something
want one of
witty.
those Kevin Owens
I
cards
want
though
one of them
now.
too. I really, really want one. I thought that was so cool.
I might be buying a few more boxes. I got a guy who might be able to hook me up with some hobby boxes, but they're so expensive. They're like
I
300
got
and some bucks.
this one. Someone in Detroit gave me
The
this one.
blaster, the
I
blaster,
got
yeah.
this was a blaster.
Which
This was the first one that I'd opened.
which
Um,
Yeah, blasters are basically an upgraded version of the, or the not main mega boxes. That's a mega box. Mega boxes are an upgraded version of the blaster box. Basically, it has a lot more hits in
okay.
it than your blaster will. They also sell those at retail. They do sell them a hobby sometimes, but then you get basically your actual hobby box, which I've got one, but it's on the other side of the room.
Okay, fine.
I was gonna grab it and I forgot. Um, those basically guarantee you hits like two autos in each of those, and then there's a lot more colored cards, numbered cards, parallels, inserts, all that type of stuff. And then now they have these new ones, because I don't know if you've been aware or seen people that are breaking boxes now, where you basically you can buy into a break. These guys go on cam, they will open
Mm,
boxes for you. And like, let's say, let's just make it easy. We're going to say this is NFL, you can buy the Lions,
okay.
and the Lions cost you, depending on the hot rookies, they cost more. The team does. So you buy the Lions. He opens a box of 2025 Topps Chrome, and you get all the Lions in that box, and he sends them to you. This is
Oh.
like the big new thing of the hobby. So people are doing that. They do it with WWE cards. They do it with every kind of card there is. Fanatics actually does it now. They have their own like breaking channel, and Fanatics owns Topps, which they bought the Topps licensing and all that stuff. So and then they do the WWE shop and all that stuff. So it's all tied together now. But yeah, there's people on TikTok that do it. There's people on YouTube that do it. There's people on Whatnot. There's people on
I see
Fanatics. I mean,
so many people now just all over the place that have different channels and are doing it live on TikTok or doing it live on Instagram
yeah.
or the Whatnot is the one that my one friend does and was doing
Mhm.
from the watch party that we just did in Detroit. And I'm like, there's so
But
many
yeah,
worlds to learn about.
basically, yeah, I could buy a box of cards and then I could have people pick something and everybody would pay for it. Plus I'd make a little on top. And that's what people are doing breaking now. And
Ah.
it's definitely definitely a money making thing, but it's also very hard to do because you got to be allocated so much product, and you got to. The other thing is if you don't get good product, and you don't hit stuff, people will quit buying in. So
Right, what if you don't get anything? What if you
that's why you almost have to pay up, and you got to get some sort of connection to buy the better, like the hobby
mm,
boxes, or they have now Breakers Delight boxes, which have guaranteed hits and their own set of parallels. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I just wanna have
It's.
one thing I open that's, like, really exciting. I haven't done anything that's like a, "Ooh," nothing.
I
There's been a
mean, the
couple
big.
cool things, but just not an autograph or nothing. Obviously, I had the smalls.
Yeah. I mean, the mega boxes for the price are probably the way to go. I mean, they're decent, but I mean, if you really want to definitely hit an auto, I mean, you got to pony up for a hobby box, which is like 300 and probably $50 or more, depending where you buy it.
Well, one of
So,
the last releases, I don't remember what it was. Oh, they were, like, releasing something, swear they were calling it was Sapphire or something like that. I don't remember. But
oh yeah, yeah,
I tried to do that and literally it sold out before I could get to it. And I even set, like, a
yeah, I did
reminder and
too.
everything, and they were gone. It's like,
Yeah, they
"Alright."
go fat. They're hot right now, and that's the other thing. They'll continue to release. I don't know how many more releases they'll do this year, but like some sets, there'll be one set like later on this year. I guarantee you that's like for the box, it'll be $1,000 or more. But those are going to be super high end, low count numbered cards, and like it's a big time deal. And there's people that buy them, and like those sometimes breakers will do those. It's crazy. Like that's one thing they do. They'll like the serial number that's on the card.
Mhm.
Like you can pick 1 through 10, and if
Yeah.
you'd say 1 out of 5, then you win that card. If it's a 2 out of 5, you win that card. Or if it's out of 25, then you get the 5 or the 25, depending on how many people they have in the break. But yeah, there's some really high end stuff. There's some medium stuff, and then they normally put out a lower tier product, which a lot of times the regular top they didn't do a regular tops set with WWE this year. They went straight to the Chrome. Um, Normally that's a little more affordable for people to bust into the market, but I don't know if they're going to do anything else that's a little cheaper or not. But there'll be a second series, by the way, of Tops Chrome coming later this year
Oh, so
because
they
they
do one
normally
at,
do
like,
it
the
in
beginning
series.
of the year, and then they'll do one later?
They're going to do a second series from what I've been seeing. That's kind of
Imma
how they
go
do it with
broke.
every sport.
Imma go broke.
Yeah, it's addictive. It's extremely addictive, and yeah, it's at some point you just gotta find a way to set your limits and not go broke.
I did have there was a place in there was a shop in, the UK that actually reached out, and they wanted to send me a couple boxes, so I
Yeah,
gave them my PO, and they sent them, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you a shout, and I'll open these cards," but, again, I wanna buy my own, I wanna get it now, I
yeah,
wanna
I
earn
know.
it, but
Yeah,
I gotta
it's
justify
crazy.
that. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" "Don't worry about it. Just let me have one moment."
Yeah. One thing I will say though is even if you don't hit an auto or something, they've done this on other stuff, and I think they're gonna do it on the WWE stuff. They have a buyback program where basically you take the win I think they're doing the winners at WrestleMania. If they win at WrestleMania, like, they will buy back their, like, base card or any parallel to it, like either the refractors, the shinier ones, or the prisms, or stuff like that, and they're all worth different values.
Uh-huh.
So, they will give you basically credit for those, and then you can use that toward Topps products. So,
Oh.
that's another way to, like, save a ton of money on buying a hobby box where you can pull something amazing or another high-end product or stuff
Right,
like
because
that.
then you can do the buyback.
Yeah. So, save
Random
your
question.
yes.
Say you get like a basic card. Is it a no-no to have that card autographed? Like, if you were to go get that card autographed by someone? Or is it just kinda like they'll
Honestly,
bot
I would getting an autograph's not a problem. Just 'cause of just a common card, I mean,
Yeah,
there's millions of them.
true.
So, I mean, if you get it autoed, it's I mean, I would do it. Why not? I wouldn't wanna auto another auto, though, or something like that, or a numbered card, probably. I would probably avoid that. Just I would definitely
No?
stick to your base cards, or even you could do like, a parallel or something like that, but
Huh.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with
I
that.
just wonder. I just wonder. I'm around some of these people sometimes. I'm like,
No,
"Can I
I know.
can I
You
just
should.
sign this?" Hard to
Yeah.
know, hard to know. So
Yep.
you eliminated most of the collection that you had, and so now you're mostly kind of selling to re-up and do all that.
Basically.
What do you keep your collection in?
Um, a couple different things. Right
Okay.
now, I used to do books, and I know you got a book. I still
I
have some
do.
books.
This
I
was
still
my
have
first
some
one.
books. Otherwise, I have well, this is actually not a good let me just hold on, I got something right here. This was actually shipped to me because this has a special card in it,
Oh,
but
cool.
there's these little boxes. If you don't put them in the top loaders, the hard case,
Uh-huh.
and you just put them in the sleeves, you can fill, like, 100 of these up in here, but otherwise, actually, right now, I have, like, stacks of them over on one shelf. I'm gonna be buying I'm in the process of buying, um, there's a case specifically for the top loader ones, so you can store them in there nice and neat
Oh, cool.
and keep them organized. And I know a lot of people, like, that go to card shows and stuff, they actually take those to like, they look like little briefcases almost, and they'll take them to shows and stuff, and then, like, they'll trade with other people, or you can sell guys cards too at card shows, and yeah,
Have you
it's a
been to
whole
one?
other world. Yeah, I've been to a card show or 2 before, yeah.
There's a whole bunch
It's
that are
crazy.
happening around here, and I put them on my calendar, and Cody was like, "Well, we can go." And I'm like, "Well, I kinda just wanna go and see and just check it out and kinda
Yeah, you
peep
should.
what people have just 'cause." Like, I don't
It's
know.
interesting. It's interesting, and the people are interesting a lot of times too, so
I can only
a lot of the
imagine. I feel like every hobby I
they
have, it's just people are
oh, they're all like
interesting, you
it's
know?
like wrestling fans, you know, I mean, they're all weird, and they need to wear deodorant, and
Oh, no, they're not. Yeah, we're fine.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, they're weird.
yeah, but it's always a good time, and it's interesting seeing what other people have, and sometimes you find things and you're like, "Oh, I didn't even know that existed." Because a lot of times they'll have more than cards there too, like, they'll just have other, like, memorabilia or other things like that,
Well, and that stuff's
so
cool too. Like conventions
yeah.
and wrestling conventions or just comic conventions have that kind of stuff. And then even around here lately, there's a card shop that just opened in the plaza that I work in. I was like,
Oh,
where
really?
the hell did that come from? And then there's another one, 15 minutes down the road that I knew existed. And I'm like, well, I kind of want to wander in there, but I also kind of don't because I don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
And I also automatically assume in this area, it seems like nobody likes wrestling. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm like, am I gonna go in there and not even gonna have any wrestling at all? I don't know.
Sure, sure. Yeah, anytime I go to anywhere, I'm always looking to see what they have wrestling wise and just see what's out there. Because honestly, until this recent Tops class, wrestling cards weren't necessarily that hot in the collecting market. I mean, they had their place, but like Panini, the other company, which you had the selects, I think you
I
opened.
did. I had the 24 ones from one of the boxes
Yeah,
from last year.
yep. and they had the license for like 3 years, I think. And before that, Topps had the license to do all the WWE cards. And then obviously there's your older like 90s, 80s, 70s. Those are like super rare and hard to find anymore. But um when Panini took it over, Panini's had a lot of issues as far as questionable autographs, questionable if this actual piece that's in the card is actually that person's piece.
Oh, they're
And
fudging
so,
it?
yeah, so some people are a little,
Scandalous.
and that's on like NBA. Like one of them, there was a big thing. I can't remember what the player was now. Someone in the NBA and someone in the, I think Dak Prescott even might have been accused of not signing his own cards.
Of
Um,
course. Sorry.
yeah, exactly. Leave it to him. Leave him to the Cowboys. But no, Panini had some questionable things, and then when they lost the license to Topps, it was like, heck yeah, this is going to be good, especially with Fanatics backing, because Fanatics is in everything. Between
Yeah.
any sport, any celebrity entertainment, everything. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
it it's a great partnership, and that's why these new Topps cards are so hot. It's just because they know they're just quality and they got good backing behind them. So,
Well, and probably attributed a little bit to just, like, the rise in popularity of wrestling within
well, yeah,
the last year, 2, 3, however many.
yeah, I mean, this is probably the greatest time for wrestling, in my opinion. I know a lot of, depending on when you grow up, you'll say different, which I was in the Attitude Era,
It's
and yeah, it
okay.
was awesome. It was a different thing. It was a whole different thing. But right now, this is the best time for wrestling because there's so much wrestling. Even if you don't want to watch WWE, you can watch AEW, you can watch TNA, you can go to independent shows. There's just so much wrestling because 15, 20 years ago, there wasn't indies like there is indies now. There wasn't an alternative to the WWE, as you know. As I mean, even when there was WCW and WWE, still wasn't the indie scene. The indie scene now is a big reason everything is great because they have all these guys and women that are just rocking it down there, and then they get
Killing
on the
it.
big stage, and it's just even better. And it's a good time to be a wrestling fan.
It really is. I
And
wish more people would acknowledge that and just own
not
it
complain.
because I mean, you got that's the thing is, like, I get why some people wanna complain about certain things, like I do, but I can think to the
Yeah.
capacity that we do it sometimes or the way that we do it and the comparisons, it's kinda just like, I don't know, just take it for what it is right now and accept that it's go back to 20s I mean, and I'm have a special place in my heart for, like, 2017, but go back to
Mhm.
2017 and really look at some of the things that we had not that long ago. This is you don't know what the
Well,
good times are until they're over, and then you're looking back like, "Oh."
look at like 2019 when or 2018, 2019,
Mm.
every single like 6 to 8 weeks on Raw or SmackDown, it was the same 5 people wrestling each other every in different combinations, like over and over. And like, oh my God, can we do something new? And then finally, I mean, actually the pandemic hit, and then that was actually, well, it was a weird period, and then we got rid of Vince. I mean, it's been nothing
I
but
mean,
great.
that
So
I just
yeah.
have, at the time, like 2018, 2019, how I really kept up when I wasn't able to watch. I watched or listened to Wrestle Talk a lot.
Oh,
You know, Ollie Davis and the guys from
yeah.
there. I don't really anymore, but at that time I did. And yeah, no, you're right. They called it it was the mid-card vortex. It was the same, you know,
Yeah.
5 rotation of people that they just
Oh,
had do the same thing over and over and over.
it was so
And
bad.
oh gosh, I just like, you know, you forget. And then yeah, here we are. It's
Yeah.
wild how
I mean,
quickly it's
we
happened.
still get a little of that, but for the most part, there's new stuff all the time, and there's multiple storylines, which for a while there were really, I mean, there were storylines, but they were very, I don't know, some of them were outdated, let me put it that way, because I think that was a Vince thing, but I don't know. I love what's going on right now in WWE and everything else. It's just we're lucky to have what we got going on. So,
The first thing that just popped in my head was Lacey Evans and was it Ric Flair?
Ric Flair, yeah, and he was gonna be like her baby daddy or something,
Yes!
and then that got scrapped, but
Thank God, but certain things I really wanted to like and be on board with, and I'm like, "Wait, wait, 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 you're not for
yeah.
real, right? Like, what? What are we doing? Where are we going? So they made it
Yeah,
hard sometimes.
exactly.
Mm-mm. Are you do you
Yep.
have any events that you're planning to attend anytime soon?
I'm actually going to an independent wrestling show this weekend, Wrestling Revolver.
Oh
They're
yeah.
based out of Ohio. Actually, I can't remember what they go to a town in Indiana now. Like, it's not too far. I can't remember where it is now, but I'll remember one of these days. Um,
I can't
yeah,
remember.
they're
I know.
based out of Ohio. Sammy Callahan, I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah.
TNA, Jessica Havoc, they own it and run it, and they've been coming to Iowa for since 2017. I think they do a show about every 3 months, 2 3 months in Iowa. A lot of TNA talent, AEW talent, a lot of indie talent, up and coming people. It's an awesome show. It's one of the best indie shows there is. And just a good time, good array of people. Santino Marella is going to be there this weekend, so I'm
Ooh.
excited to see Santino. I can't remember who else, but like I think Moose, who was just on NXT,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be there. Um, Steve Macklin, who's on TNA, he's there all the time. Killer
Yeah.
Kelly, all those guys. It's just
Oh,
it's a
that'll
good
be
the
great.
Rascals. Yeah, it's
Oh.
so much fun. And then I know like a lot of the guys that work there, a lot of the photography guys, and like I'm ringside and stuff most of the time, and we just have a blast. It's fun. I normally can't talk the next day, so
The voice is gone. The voice is
yeah,
gone. All the
yeah,
yelling and screaming and everything.
yep, yep. And then I'm probably not the next thing I'm going to. I wanted to go to Mania, but I wasn't going to go to Mania. I was just going to go to the indie shows and then probably watch Mania at a bar
Yeah.
somewhere or something.
Yeah.
But that didn't work out. But I am going the next weekend to Indianapolis to Squared Circle Expo.
Oh, are
So
you really?
yeah, I'm going.
Oh,
I
dope.
said screw it, I'm going this year. I wanted to go last year, but I had a wedding that weekend, so I couldn't go.
Ah,
But
yeah. Well, God, they had to
I'm
change
going.
their entire date because they were gonna be Mania weekend, and then Mania
Yeah,
announced, Easter weekend was always the safe bet for them, and then they had to switch it because it's usually Saturday, Sunday, but they had to
yeah,
do Friday, Saturday now. But yeah, those are my
yeah.
stomping grounds. I will be there. This
Oh
is
yeah,
my
yep. Oh yeah.
third, I
Mm,
think. Yeah.
wow.
Time flies. Time flies. Time
Yeah,
flies. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing there yet. We'll see. It's a good time
yeah,
though. You have a good time. There's a
yeah. I've
lot of
heard it is.
it's one
I
of the
know quite a
coolest ones
few.
just because it's smaller and everyone's just kind of right in the vicinity and just a lot of cool stuff to check out and do. You said you know
Yeah,
a lot of people there?
yeah. I know quite a few people that are going to be there, and then there's a couple of people that actually have tables there and stuff. So that I know that should be a fun time.
It's good time. It's
I'm
a very,
excited.
very good time. It's a very good time. So you got the events that you're going to. You're gonna be in Indianapolis. What else? Like, what else is like your goals for the rest of this year? What are some things that you'd really like to accomplish? Places you like to go, whether that just be personal life or with content creation in general.
I definitely want to get into some more shows later this year. I want to do some sort of WWE show yet before the year's over. I'm not sure. I mean, pay per view wise,
Hmm.
but those are kind of limited, since they're going overseas a lot now.
Yeah.
So maybe SummerSlam, we'll see. Um, I don't know. I got to figure that out, but that's definitely a goal is to do that. Go to some more indie shows. I don't know. I enjoy the indie shows a lot. Plus, there's so many of them now, especially if I go up to Minnesota, like Minneapolis has.
Oh
I
God,
think they have
yeah.
an indie show about every weekend, or
Yeah, I'm pretty
Chicago.
sure. Oh,
Yeah.
Chicago
So
too, for sure.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, do more of that. I'd like to maybe even get. I know I'm going to go to a Comic Con, Minneapolis Comic Con, Twin Cities Comic Con, I guess is what it's called. Sting's
Mm.
going to be up there, and I haven't met Sting yet. And this is the last year he's doing the full face paint thing, so I got
Yes,
to
it
go
is.
meet Sting.
Yes, you
So
do.
I'm going there in November, the first weekend of November. They're doing that. Um, that's definitely on my agenda.
He's
Other than that, I
amazing.
mean, yeah, no, I've heard nothing but great things, and I just that I mean, it was kind of funny because I last was it last summer? Lex Luger was at Revolver,
Oh yeah.
and I met and talked to him, and one of the nicest men I've ever talked to. And it's just amazing to see where he was then and what he's doing now. It's just crazy because he was in his wheelchair and could barely move,
Yep.
and just seeing what he's doing, it's just I cried when I saw it the first time, and I'm like, holy cow, that is just so awesome. And I mean, just all the crazy stuff that he's went through and that he's owned up on, and it's good seeing him have some good stuff happening to him. But
I agree.
um, content creation wise, I mean, just keep growing everything, get bigger and bigger, do some new stuff, get out of the box, get out of my comfort zone, and do a few things that I normally haven't done yet. I don't know. I am always and have been. I like to talk to people, but I'm always like hesitant to talk to people sometimes at first. But then once I get talking to them, then I'm good. And I don't know why. I have a little
I'm
anxiety.
the
Let me
same
put it that
way.
way.
No, I'm the same
But
way. It's taken a lot of reps to kinda get out of that.
yeah, well, and then just even like when I started doing social media stuff, like I could have never imagined being on camera making videos and doing them like that's not me. I'm like
Yeah.
out of my comfort zone, and now I'm glad I did because I mean, and my self esteem's went through the roof, and I'm just feel great doing what I'm doing. I'm having fun, and it's the best thing. So I know that stepping out of my comfort zone is a good thing, and I just need to keep doing that, keep pushing myself, just keep having fun and doing content, collaborating with people too. That's one thing I don't do a lot of. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to be. I know you brought this up before. I kind of want to be picky and choosy on who I do because there's some kind of different people in our world, obviously.
And that's
Uh,
okay. You can be picky and choosy. There's
yeah,
nothing
I
wrong with
know, I
that.
know.
You're not
No,
obligated to do
exactly.
anything.
No, exactly. That's what I like about it. So, but no, just keep growing and having more fun, have more opportunities to do different things that I can't now, and just keep growing, keep chasing you.
The possibilities are endless. I will say the
Yeah,
possibilities are definitely endless,
just
but there's a lack of people in the space I think that do have kind of that level-headedness about them and know how to conduct themselves and act and be respectful. There is a big lack of that. So having more people in the space that are like that, I mean, the possibilities are
yes,
endless and you obviously are one of those people, so don't veer from that, man. Just kind of keep getting out of your comfort
yep,
zone and doing what you're doing.
yeah. And one other thing I guess I should throw in there is, I've always been an advocate for women's wrestling and women's content creators and stuff like that. I just wanna keep hyping you guys ladies up and just keep pushing you because I feel like you don't get the respect you deserve because there's so many of you that are amazing, and the way some guys and even women treat you, it's ridiculous sometimes, and I just want more and more women's wrestling on my TV because they put on some of the best matches. I swear it you do a WWE pay-per-view, like Elimination Chamber or the Rumble, I swear most of the time, those are the better matches, so
I
they beat the
tell
men most 9 times out of 10.
They
So
really do. They really, really do. I
and they're
exist
so
out of s I
talented.
they are. I really say I think a
NXT
lot
is
of us, we exist out of spite. We just exist
yeah,
out of spite.
yeah.
You don't want
So,
us
but
here?
yeah,
We're gonna be here.
hell yeah.
That's the way to roll, that's the way to roll. Well, I do
Yep.
appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for giving me your time today and hanging out and
Yeah,
talking.
that was
Where
fun.
can people find you? Where are your socials where people can check out your stuff?
My main stuff is obviously, I mean, Instagram, YouTube. They're all. I'm Tylerwrestles on every single social media platform, pretty much. If you got it, I'm probably on there. I have my own. TylerWrestles.com is actually my link tree that has all
Oh, okay.
my links on it. It has all my affiliate links on it. It has my Discord on it. It has my Reddit that doesn't do much. I don't have a very big Reddit yet, but
Me either.
yeah, TylerWrestles.com has all my social media things. I really focus on the Twitch, the YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, obviously, and I'm on Twitter occasionally. On X, I guess it is. I still call it Twitter, but
I still call it Twitter
um,
too.
I like to chime in on other people's conversations, as Wheezy knows. I do that sometimes when you and Minnie are talking. I'm like, okay, I'll just add my 2 cents in here, but it's always a positive thing. I don't be
It's
negative about
social
stuff. So
media, that's the point. That is the point.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
you can chime into conversations, without, being
yeah,
a dick. You can
but
just
yeah.
chime in.
TylerWrestles.com. All my links are on there, and yeah, just doing reactions, doing content, making hopefully more and more YouTube videos, longer YouTube, better quality, longer form YouTube videos, and just having a good time talking wrestling with all you guys.